At the moment you are all on screen. The camera has started, and when you start speaking I shall press the start button on here. Okay?
Good evening everyone. Tonight we're going to present you the Automatic Group, and we're going to propose how the company is going to structure itself in the face of an emerging driverless car industry. First of all, we're going to introduce you to the Automatic Group. We're going to quickly outline the organizational structure. We're going to have a look at the firm and the industry environment the firm is embedded in. We're then going to focus on examining how the organization creates as well as sustains the innovative structure. That means we're going to present some important strategic choices. We're going to explain the source of innovation, as well as we're going to explain how the company is going to interact with others. So this is the company. Basically, it's all about vehicle repair and maintenance services. There's a total of 35 mechanic shops based in London. For illustration purposes, we've only put 3 here, so just imagine there would be another 30 to come. So each shop is led by a shop manager, who directly reports to the management board. Within the local automatic centers, we have teams which are made up of more experienced older mechanics, as well as young apprentices. We believe it's very important to have that mixture, and it's deliberately chosen because we want to bring in expert knowledge and young talent. In fact, we run our own apprenticeship programs where we nurture young talent because we believe it's a vital source for innovation. So as you can see, the structure is quite flat and already dynamic. On the one hand, the management board has direct control over all local automatic shops. On the other hand, the shop managers can refer back to the management, they can update them on market changes, and therefore the management board can adapt much quicker. We also make effort to bring all units together. So what we do, there are annual automatic congresses, where we bring in all units, we compare their performance, and we're basically going to propose the best unit. What I also wanted to add is that the management board acts as a center of excellence, where internal progresses are set and internally monitored. So as we said, it's quite a dynamic structure. So now we're going to explain why it's so important for having a look by the competitive industry.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Now I want to take a look at the current industry environment. The industry is made up of some mechanic in UK, such as Quick Fit, and a high number of small mechanic garages. And the company operates in a fragmented market, and which is made up of some small garages within UK. And the company, as it is now, lacks transparency, which means that it is ripe, the market is ripe for disruption. And the mechanic and repair maintenance industry currently generates £22 billion, and with more than 37,000 business today. Customers require an affordable expert service. Suppliers are made up of a variety of wholesalers to provide us with spare parts and tools. Now, how do we come in? Now, the company, the industry itself is ripe for disruption, and at the same time, the company is not transparent. Now, we want to kind of close up the service gap between what the expectation of the customers and what the industry offers. So we are there in the industry to close up the gap, and so as to establish our corporate strategy for the satisfaction of the customers.
Good evening, everyone. The Automatic Group is already an innovative organization. So why do we need to innovate? The first driverless car is currently being innovated by Google and has already driven 300,000 miles. It is argued that the driverless cars are used to reduce the number of accidents, and they won't get tired, drained or sleepy. But what does the emergence of the driverless car car industry means to us an organization? Basically, there are still going to be people using a normal car. but how many cars are actually need of repair and maintenance? The worst case scenario is the robot takes over human work. On the one hand, this is because the generation of baby boomers would be retiring and the society in the need of manufacturing workers. On the other hand, it could also be that automated driverless cars don't actually need a level of traditional repair and the maintenance. Bottom line is that our business opportunities are uncertain, and this is why, because we need to innovate. How are we doing this? We are going to create an innovation unit led by the head of development, and we introduce RepairGo, which will be talk about in our next presentation. Start. So now this is our organizational structure look like. The reason we create an innovation unit in this position is to be able to source of information from all academic centers, then to analyze the information by using collective of our organization. Therefore, the unit will be able to understand what is going on in the market and to come up with a profitable innovation. At the same time, the unit is directly connected to management board, report findings and progresses. But generally, the innovation unit working freely with the management authorization to take own decision. Again, this shows how effective a flat hierarchy is. The innovation unit itself will consist of a team of 5 members overseen by the head of development. The roles will include marketing analysis, business developers and IT developers. The team is based in the premises of the head office and will be visiting our local academic automatic centers on the weekly basis. Every member will be visiting our local automatic centers on rotating basis, and we want everyone to understand how the day-to-day business is running. This also includes interviews and informal chats with local automatic center staff to create a bond and ensure the high levels of communication. Lastly, within the innovation unit itself, everyone will sit in this same office, and each member will have the same degree of superiority to the head of development. And weekly review meetings will be held to discuss findings in each areas. The aim is to set up a dynamic and cooperative unit for nurturing innovation. Now, Smith will explain our innovation strategy. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. We are going to define a few basics about innovation strategy. Firstly, we are aiming to the discontinuous innovation. As we said in the beginning, the repair and the maintenance is ripe for disruption. So we want to change the way people access to the mechanic service. How we do that? We introduce the product innovation called RepairGo, which allow the car owner easy access to the mechanic service by the web application. As we go along, we then focus on incremental innovation. As we invest in process to improve service level and to make a product less imitable, we believe that it is important that both of the innovation strategy both of the innovation strategy are implemented one after each other. This is because the market is ripe for disruption, and because the future and the demand is uncertain. And incremental approach will improve our flexibility within the market. The challenge lies in the innovation units as they will face and exercise both approaches. Similarly, the innovation is mainly driven by research and development, which is looked after by our innovation unit. Another reason why we set this up, we believe that knowledge push is the best suit for our innovation strategy, because the market is going to change, and we react with breakthrough and incremental development. Next, Kumar will explain about how we go into the source of innovation.
Good evening to all. Now, how can we find opportunities for innovation? A very important tool to source innovation are search strategies, because this allows us to detect any signals from the environment we are embedded in, to be technical or societal change. We are going to implement selection of 3 search strategies. As the future is uncertain, we are going to explore multiple futures. This is core of the activity of the innovation unit, because as we said, they will invest time in research, and these findings will be applied into alternative plans. This also goes inline our incremental approach, as it allows flexibility and ability to react quick to market changes. We are working with the existing users, because we are an established business and we have customers, and some of these customers will be selected for a trial for innovation to change and develop, and this means we are showing the idea of prop and learn up from the repair go, and thus bring in key stakeholders. That means we can test the acceptability of the product before launch. Now, what we are going to do and why? As a result of search strategies are using, we are to identify new market opportunities, and therefore we can develop the distinctive competencies to exploit these opportunities. In our case, this entails that we are use existing mechanical knowledge and expand into software by launching a web app. In a nutshell, we are getting ready ourselves to survive and sustain profitability in the driverless car industry through enabling innovative structure, which means represented by our innovation unit. Now, Sola will explain about how to implement the innovation.
Thank you. Now the question is, how do we implement our innovation strategy? First, we position ourselves as an innovation leader, since we have the technical know-how, we have the experience, and in the mechanic services. And the advent of the driverless car, we want to capture a larger market share, and also set standard on how people access mechanic service in future. We will still have to cope with the disadvantages such as cost, demand, uncertainty, and imitation. But also, we will also organize ourselves based on such strategies and explore multiple features as we explained earlier. Our mode of strategy will be bottom up and outside in. That is to say that we use what the resources we have inside from the bottom up, the management level, and also we are going to search outside there for knowledge to bring in our innovation strategy. And we will use that existing knowledge in order to establish our innovation strategy.
So now we want to have a look how we're actually going to generate value through innovation. And that basically means how we're going to use our core capabilities and how we're creating that competitive advantage. So one way to do it is to use the capabilities approach, position, paths, and processes. And what is it about position? Position is really all about where we are in the marketplace, what's our competitive advantage. So as we said, we're an established business. We have expert vehicle repair and maintenance knowledge, and we offer reliable service. And because of our long-standing history, we have sophisticated products and services, as well as processes. So we know where we are in the marketplace, and we also know where we want to go. We are growth-orientated, we're looking for long-term profitability, high customer satisfaction, and loyalty. Just to let you know, this is really important to us, customer satisfaction and loyalty, and we're going to go into detail in our next presentation. So we know where we are, we know where we want to go, so how are we getting there? That's usually through paths. One way would be technological trajectories, but I believe we're going to hear quite a lot about them tonight. So we want to introduce another model, another theory, which is the degree of firm growth and innovation. Basically, with this model, it's all about how innovation decisions vary over time. So we have the degree of novelty, which is radical and incremental, as well as the type of innovation, product and processes, throughout the stages of firm growth, startup expansion, maturity, diversification, and exit. So we are kind of a mature business. We're now looking into launching a web-based app. So we are somewhere between maturity and diversification. As we said before, we're aiming for an incremental approach. So we're really looking at product development and learning by experience. Product development is really important because it's all about the product. The product needs to be unique and needs to give an extra value to the customer. So in our perspective, it's important that we have technical and product synergies as well as marketing and managerial synergies. In terms of process innovation, as we outlined, we're going to focus on process innovation after the launch of RepairGo. We will then be going for learning by experience. Learning by experience means that we accumulate our knowledge based on what we already know about markets, people, and technologies. And all this innovation, basically, there's space to grow as we go through the stages of firm growth. So now we don't want to forget the last part, the processes, which is really important, and we've kind of outlined this part already. So given the degree of uncertainty, we are going for search strategies, we're looking at multiple futures and different plans. We have a flat hierarchy, we're going for a bottom-up and inside-out approach, and we make efforts to bring more teams together.
Now, how do we use the power of networks? We are going to use the power of collective network, by gaining the advantage of collective efficiency, learning, and risk-taking. The market trend, and for us to be able to have opportunity to understand new products that's been launched into the market through our network, the power of the network. And we're going to also use connected and open network to enable sharing knowledge and to realize economies of scope. The only differentiation is our service that we offer, and the rest are just common components that we use, such as lubricants, tools, and tires. In future, we plan to establish a business association under one umbrella group. Based on our core strength in UK, with 45 shops, we believe this is a suitable option as we move along establishing good practice in repair and maintenance services.
Now, how we are going to innovate our structure. Firstly, the bottom-up approach will allow us to gather a hands-on knowledge and through a process of existing knowledge and further learning, we are able to establish route times that allows innovations such as RepairGo, and incrementally, and also being able to incrementally re-innovate the both product and processes. Thank you.
Okay, so by having said that, we now want to conclude with this so-called strategy house we're going for. So just to show you how we're going to lead this, the main aim is survival and profitability in a driverless car industry. How we're going to do that? First presentation, we've explained to you how we are creating and sustaining innovative firm structure. And these are the tools we're going to use to realize innovative firm structure. And in the next presentation, we're going to present to you RepairGo, which is a web-based application, as we quickly outlined. This is going to make us an innovation leader. We're also going to explain why. And RepairGo is basically going to redefine the sources of our profitability. So thank you very much for your attention. We would now like to invite you for any questions, and if not, we'll see you in 3 weeks' time.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay. Can I just start by asking, right at the beginning, you talked about the current industry environment and you talked about the lack of transparency. Could you sort of elaborate on what you mean by that? Because that seems to be a key concept, and I didn't quite. It wasn't transparent on what you meant by transparency. So.
So basically, based on our research, the market is rather fragmented. In general, the areas for entry, the barriers for entry are quite low in the mechanic industry because it's rather easy to set up your own business. So the problem is that it's not transparent in terms of pricing and in terms of service, because if you go to a mechanic shop, you have to have your tires changed. You kind of expect to pay anything between 50 and 100 pounds, but you don't know exactly how much you're going to pay, and the service, you're not too sure whether the service is reliable or not. And that's the whole point we mean with the lack of transparency.
But aren't people like Quick Fit sort of offering a fairly extensive menu of fixed price services, and most garages also using fixed price menus for annual services these days?
Yeah, but that's just one part of the business. They are still a part of a business. Obviously, if you think about oil change or tires, for instance, winter and summer tire, it's rather standard. Or if you're looking at into accidents, something has happened, you have to change a part, is less standard, and that's where the problem starts.
Okay, thank you. And okay, obviously I think we're all quite interested to see what the new product looks like when we get to it, but I accept that that's not for this presentation. Okay, knowledge push. Now, if you're going to be truly innovative, I can see some merit in that, but is it really true that the market doesn't know what is wrong with existing repair services? And I would like to hear somebody other than Stephanie answer this question, please. All right. But is there no room here at all for market pull?
Sorry?
Is there no room here for market pull alongside knowledge push? I'm not suggesting it should supplant it, but why just knowledge push at this moment?
The mechanic repair maintenance service in the UK is all about the customers, and we realize that there's a gap between what the customer wanted and what they are being offered, and in that sense we want to close the service gap in the areas of change, as she has earlier said, change of spare tires, lubricants, and some other things. So we want a situation whereby we want to set a standard in the industry.
Okay, but why can you not involve the customer in developing what those new standards should look like?
Like I said earlier, we said we are going to use the outside-in approach, which means that we are going to make use of some information from the customers to develop our innovation strategy.
Okay, fair enough. So, right, now what was I going to do after that? Right. When we came to talk about the network, you used the phrase economies of scope. can't remember where that was exactly. Can you give me an example of how where those economies of scope actually arise, please?
We intend to use the power of the networks in order to use to reduce our average cost by making sure that some other things that the organization or the firm has to do, the power of networks will allow us to.
Right, but okay, but the point is that that is not a specific insight. Okay, yes, power of networks does give you. Can you give me an any specific example of how that's going to happen in this particular business for the kind of product you're talking about?
Now,
if you can talk again, by the way,
the marketing, like for example, marketing of the services
And research and development.
and research and development can be done within the group.
Right. Why do you want to found a business association? Do you really want to share this with your competitors? What's the benefit of a business association in this context?
Well, the benefit is in a way because the barriers of entry are low anyways, and we're going to offer a web-based service that anyone can access. So there's not much we can keep secret. So we rather do the other way around, and that's a point that we can't really elaborate on right now, but when using RepairGo, we're going to redefine our competitors as in fact our customers.
Right. Okay. So
and that plays in there.
Right. Okay. So if you're essentially offering a B2B service rather
they're
than
going to be our
then I can see the logic. Okay. That's that really. Anybody else want to contribute a question? We have another 3 minutes or so. If not, I'll let you off the hook. Thank you very much indeed. Okay. You can do it.